Finally for us here at 5:30 tonight, a popular energy drink called Prime facing backlash, including from our senior U.S. Senator who claims it could be dangerous for children and teenagers, yet they're being targeted, he says, by the company's advertising campaigns.
One of the summer's hottest status symbols for kids is not an outfit, it's not a toy, it's a beverage. But buyer and parents beware, because it's a serious health concern for the kids it so feverishly targets. That is this drink called Prime. A lot of parents may never heard of it, but their kids have.
Senator Schumer sent this letter to the FDA asking for an investigation looking into Prime's claims, its marketing aimed at children, and its caffeine levels. Joining us live right now is Dr. Michael Zang, a pediatrician with Catholic Health. So we appreciate you coming on as we're trying to understand this. So the numbers, as we're being told, it's a 12-ounce can of this stuff with 200 milligrams of caffeine in it. It's the equivalent of about 6 cans of Coca-Cola, nearly 2 Red Bulls. How bad would that be for kids and teenagers? And I imagine the younger the child, maybe the worse for them?
Yeah, well, I mean, the short answer, Michael, is it's not ideal. We obviously all know that caffeine is a ubiquitous substance, and it really it's used as a cardiovascular as well as a central nervous system stimulant. However, it has a waning effect and really no data to support a benefit in the pediatric population at all. In fact, the American Academy of Pediatrics has a strong stance on caffeine and says for children and teens to avoid it. As far as the amount that's being offered in these energy drinks, it is quite high. Is a one-time 200 milligram dose for a typical child, adolescent child, toxic? No, probably it's not toxic. But is it somewhere between being benign and toxic? Absolutely. There's plenty of data out there to support that caffeine really at any dose for children has negative implications, which includes the cardiovascular system, the central nervous system, psychiatric health in terms of anxiety, depression, challenges with attention, as well as executive function. And of course, it has a negative impact on sleep.
And so, Dr. Zang, you talk there that it may not be toxic just drinking 1 can of this stuff, but is there also a danger that if, a child or a teenager is drinking this stuff on a regular basis, that also would be bad for them, perhaps more so?
Yeah, absolutely. Wouldn't be uncommon to picture a child who elects to have multiple of these in a day, which of course would take them potentially into a toxic state with the amount of caffeine they're taking in. And then long term with chronic use, we know that this can result in dependence, as well as association with increased use of alcohol, tobacco, marijuana, prescription drugs have been seen in the literature with chronic caffeine use in the pediatric population.
Dr. Zang, I've only got a minute left here, but part of the letter that the senator is sending to this company is sending to the FDA to investigate is about the advertising, right? Because a bunch of influencers are on social media drinking this stuff. They're over 18, but the viewers aren't, right? So a lot of parents right now haven't seen this stuff on TikTok, but their kids have. As a pediatrician, what would be your message to parents? I guess just about being aware of this stuff out there and similar products.
Well, what I have to say about this is I learned about it from my own child because he convinced my wife to buy some. I'm not saying anything about my wife. She's a great person. But, this was an educational process for the two of us to figure out what this stuff was. So I think this is a great opportunity for us as parents to educate and empower our children to understand how to stay healthy and to understand marketing traps that are out there. At the end of the day, you get your best sustained energy from a healthy diet, from sleep, from exercise. All you need when you're exercising is water. And the best thing parents can do, aside from educating their children, is lead by example.
Great insight. Dr. Michael Zang is a pediatrician with Catholic Health. Sir, thanks so much for coming on. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.